back in 2021. They have finished in the top 4, 5 out of 11 seasons. It's likely to be a 6th out of 12 this afternoon. And after the players take the knee to highlight no room for racism in football, Durham get us off and underway. Bristol City immediately have the ball back. It's 5-0 to Bristol City when they met these teams back in mid-December. Bristol City were in a real purple patch back then. Didn't take the lead, in fact, in that game, although it was so one-sided in the end until first half injury time. Emily Syme got a couple on the day. Lexi Lloyd-Smith, Gianna Taser and Amelie Testrup, who's on the bench this afternoon, were the other scorers. What a season Lexi Lloyd-Smith has had up top for Bristol City, the number 10. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the picture there. 10 goals for her, her first season since joining from Southampton. Right up there among the leading scorers in the division. Only Shania Hales with 12 goals. And Isabel Goodwin of London City Lionesses with 15 have scored more than Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Shania Hales with her 12 for Newcastle. Here's Mina on the ball. We saw her score a stunning goal on her first start in senior football when Durham beat Newcastle back in March. Ball will roll through to the goalkeeper. Riley Foster joined Durham on loan from Everton in January. Joined permanently, in fact, from Everton. Key signing for Durham. Has looked really experienced between the sticks. 26-year-old Canadian. Rarely puts a foot wrong. Briggs with the throw-in for Durham. Hurls it down that right-hand touchline. Lambert with the header on, almost dropped to crossweight. Back with Lambert, former Sunderland player. Another ever-present this season in the Durham starting lineup. One back really well for Bristol City by Mary Ward. Oh, lovely layoff by Syme to Mina, but it's given away.
Okay, from here. Hurry up a bit. Slide. Yes, go on. Tight end. Good, well done. Shake.
She's coming in tight with every time. Check dog. Just tell him.
Yep, drop the feet.
Lloyd-Smith with a really tough challenge on crossweight. Tough but fair. And it's gone off crossweight and out for a Bristol City throw, which will be taken by Mustaki. Ward knocks it all the way back to Struck. Here's Mina. Home fans in good voice. Long ball forward by City goes all the way to Foster once more. Briggs for Durham. Good work by Crossweight to keep it in and return to Briggs, but the touch from Briggs was heavy. And Struck can roll it back to Fran Bentley, former Manchester United and Manchester City youth goalkeeper. Fran Bentley, but now settled at City after several loan spells at various clubs. With Bristol City, in fact, since 2021, Fran Bentley, 23 years old now. She too has a lot of experience for one still relatively young.
Go, just around it. It's a great spot. Just come around it. Great spot.
Briggs with the throw in for Durham. It is just that late season form for both these clubs that saw them slip out of the promotion battle. Just one win in the last 7 championship games for Bristol City. Durham rather too many draws. Oh, good work by Crosswaite down the right wing. Crosswaite with the cross in. Oh, it's gone all the way across the 6-yard box. Durham keep the attack alive. Fluent passing movement from Durham, and Heppel tries to charge her way through. Now it's back with Briggs. Wilson. Durham forced all the way back, but looking to build again. Saliki. Blake. Oh, lovely pass through, and it takes a flick off of Mina, actually, who got a vital touch. And it'll trickle behind for a corner.
Make sure you set.
Which Heppel will take. Heppel's had a really productive season in front of goal. 5 goals from her, 5 assists too in the championship. A regular set piece taker, and she stands over this corner. Durham plus of that goal mouth. In it comes from Heppel towards the far post. Headed back, and the shot is taken on by Blake. Oh, and there's a claim for a foul, and it's given on the edge of the D. Really dangerous territory, this. Blake was caught. The New Zealand international, who celebrates her 25th birthday tomorrow. Hannah Blake, and she's won her side. A free kick right on the edge of the D in the middle of the goal. Can they test Bentley? Really tricky one, this, for the goalkeeper, because she can't be sure which side is going to be favoured. Has to hedge her bet somewhat when it's right in the middle. It's Fancy Heppel who's putting the ball down to strike it. Foster is there too. Here comes Heppel. Oh, and it's into the wall. Bristol City's wall did its job really well. Jumped in unison. Too much on that for Crosswaite to have any hope of getting to. Good start this by the hosts. They've had the majority of the ball. They've been mainly inside the Bristol City half. Briggs to Foster. Back now with Foster. Briggs again. Briggs with the long ball in. Headed on by Heppel, but drops into the arms of Bentley. Foster wins it back. Durham build again.
Keep on it! Get some good passes in!
Instructions from the Bristol City bench, you can hear, get some good passes in, calm, calm. They're obviously a little concerned about the way this match has started. City not being able to get those passes in, not being able to get any sort of flow, looking a little bit ruffled by Durham, who've started this game with great intensity on the final day after a long, hard season. Wilson to Briggs. Durham holding onto the ball really well. Throwing given Durham's way. Wilson. It's given away by Wilson. And Ward keeps it in.
Tag if you need. Tag if you need. Tag if you need.
Good ball by Mustaki to Amy Rogers, the birthday girl, 25 today. Happy birthday to her, the Bristol City number 8.
Stay high! Stay high! Stay high! Stay high! Go after
And Wilson cuts out the Bristol City foray forward. Ella Wilson, the left-back namesake of the centre-back alongside her, Sarah, her captain.
Eyes up! Eyes up! Right through! You got it! Got it!
Well, Rogers got there and doesn't get the free kick, rather surprisingly. And Durham could take advantage of this. I thought Rogers was caught, but Lambert will lay it off to Crossway. Crossway's got a bit of space, pulls it back towards Lambert. It's gone beyond her, but it's tucked in by Heppel, who gives Durham the lead in the 11th minute. Unerring finish into the roof of the net. But you have to feel Bristol City may feel a little hard done by there. Amy Rogers was caught. Durham won it back. No free kick, said the referee. And Durham took full advantage. Lambert with a layoff. Crossway with a delightful ball back towards Lambert, who couldn't get hold of it. But Beth Heppel running in at the far post smashes in her 6th championship goal of the campaign. Durham lead. Durham so handsomely beaten by City 5-0 just before Christmas. Really wanting to give a much better account of themselves this afternoon, and that has been the case so far. They've been well on top. They are worthy of that goal, but it was a little controversial because they may well have been pulled up for a foul at the point that the move that led to the goal began. Abby did, and though the referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge on Rogers. City on the charge, dangerous ball in, headed away by Wilson. Good defending by the Durham captain. Good response from Bristol City, who've actually had their best moment of the match just seconds after going behind. Lloyd Smith turns, but can't pick out a teammate, and that trundles through to Foster. Short to Wilson. Didn't have much time to turn and get that away, but did it well and finds Crossway. Mustaki gets there first save for City, plays it back to Struck. Good header by Briggs to Lambert. Lambert turns really well and Briggs tries to bustle her way through. Mustaki tidies up though, uses Struck once more. Struck gets the ball away to Ward. Mina. Oh, good work by Lloyd Smith. Really good run this from Lexi Lloyd Smith. Oh, and she just couldn't find a teammate. It was good defending. She was closed down well. Lambert now surges down the middle of the park. She's forced back.
Wide and higher, Bridgie. Wide and higher now. Yeah, when it comes, Larry. Yes, come on in, come on.
Wilson to Briggs.
Yes, me. Higher up, drop in. Get up, everybody up. Go on, Pete, go on, Pete. Are you ready? Yes, come on. Yes. Good. Closer.
I said earlier that Durham have actually drawn too many games. In fact, that hasn't really been the problem for them. They've lost too many. They've won. In fact, well, here's a great ball through from Morgan to Lloyd Smith. Just a little bit too much on it. The flag's up anyway. Offside. Free kick to Durham. Only the top two London City Lionesses, who have won 13, and Birmingham, who have won 12, have won more games than Durham in the Championship. Durham have won 10 of their 19 matches before today. But no one in the top 5 has lost as many as Durham. They've lost 6, Durham. So in fact, really, it's a case of not picking up those points, not getting some of those draws that have turned into defeats, perhaps, that have seen them slip down. Just a reminder, on the YouTube TV app, you can follow the 4 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship this afternoon, all at the same time. You can click in on different matches, zoom in on those matches. We've got Blackburn against Newcastle going on, Southampton against Charlton, Sunderland against Sheffield United, and this one here, Durham against Bristol City. Follow those games on the multi-view channel on YouTube. So much going on a busy final day in the Championship. Teams that have all played their part in keeping us entertained throughout another roller coaster of a season in England's second tier. A division which seems to get more and more competitive every year. I'm sure that's going to be the case again next season. As I mentioned at kickoff, Nottingham Forest and Ipswich Town promoted from the Women's National League, Northern and Southern Premier Divisions respectively, as champions of those divisions. Congratulations to them. Here's Ward for Bristol City, cross deep towards the far post, and Powell has to race across to keep it in. Powell with the cross, flicks up off a Durham shirt, drops to Lloyd Smith. City have a throw. Bennett. Mina. Struck to Mustaki. Wars. Wars moves away from Briggs, finds herself some space. Closed down though by Blake and has to go back to Bennett. Bennett was looking for the return from Morgan, it didn't come. And Wilson wins it back for Durham. Ella Wilson back to Heppel. Saliki rather, and Saliki back to her goalkeeper. Now it's with Sarah Wilson, the captain. Given away, Mina wins it back for City. Bennett, former London City Lionesses captain, Harley Bennett, back from suspension this afternoon for Bristol City. Here's Lambert for Durham. Oh, does really well to find Crosswaite. We've seen what Crosswaite can do with the low cross which set up the opening goal, and it comes again from Crosswaite. This time high and too high for a teammate to get on the end of. Saliki smashes it away before Lloyd Smith can get there. It's out for the Bristol City throw-in, which Powell will take. Ella Powell preparing for a busy summer with Wales. What an achievement by Wales, reaching their first ever major tournament. They're in England's group in the Euros this summer in Switzerland with France and Netherlands. And Ella Powell will hope to be in that final squad, along with Fionn Morgan too, her Bristol City teammate. Headed away by Wilson. Ward will take the throw for the visitors. Finds Lloyd Smith. There's going to be another throw for City. Mustaki takes it, finds Lloyd Smith once more, back to the Republic of Ireland international. Claypole tries to put Struck under pressure. Amy Claypole on loan from Chelsea since January, still only 19. What a productive loan spell it's been. Those 5 goals in March, 5 goals which saw her voted the Barclays Championship Player of the Month. 2 goals on her debut in the 3-1 win here against Newcastle, then a hat-trick against Portsmouth. Hasn't scored since then, albeit Durham have only played twice since the month of March. Be interesting to see what happens in the summer to the Durham number 15. whether she returns to her parent club Chelsea, whether there's the opportunity to stay here or perhaps a loan spell elsewhere. She continues her development. Mina sweeps it out. Oh, lovely long ball from Malika Mina to Powell. Powell does really well to keep it in on that touchline. Takes on Wilson, gets across into Lloyd Smith, and it's into the arms of Foster. Best we've seen from City. Lovely sweeping ball from Mina. Powell doing really well, tiptoeing along that line. And a delicious ball in, which Lloyd Smith caught on the volley, but couldn't beat Foster. But that shows the potency that Bristol City can provide when they're in full flow. Something we saw often in the purple patch of mid-season, but has tailed off a little over the final weeks of the run-in, and that's what's cost them, Bristol City. I mentioned how Durham consistently ever present in... Oh, and it's given away, and Heppel almost gets her second. She's got a corner. Well, from nowhere. Just goes to show you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the lottery. And Beth Heppel thought there was a chance and just almost capitalised. Bristol City survive. Yes, I was just saying how Durham ever present in the second tier since the formation of WSL2, now known as the Championship, back in 2014. Bristol City, of course, have bounced around between the top two divisions, most recently coming down to the Championship again at the end of last season after that one season back in the top flight. High hanging corner, drops to the edge of the area. But Bristol City was such a proud record in the women's game in their days when they were known as Bristol Academy at the start of the 2010s. They were twice WSL runners-up, twice FA Cup runners-up. Went deep into the Champions League too. Champions League quarter-finalists in 2014-15 were Bristol City 10 years ago. Beat Barcelona in that year's competition in the round of 16 before a heavy defeat to Frankfurt in the quarter-finals. Mary Earps, the England goalkeeper, part of that Bristol City team back then. Bristol Academy as they were.
Get up, go after it. Get up, come on, come on.
But as bigger men's Premier League clubs have got involved in the women's game with the support for their female counterparts, you've seen Bristol City slip back a bit in the pecking order. Bristol City never yet the men's Premier League club. I hope perhaps that could change because, of course, on the final day of the regular season in the men's game yesterday, Bristol City men got themselves into a playoff position. Here's Ward. Oh, lovely layoff by Syme to Ward, and Ward feeds it out to Morgan. Morgan back to Mustaki. Morgan and Ward combine really well, almost comes through to Lloyd Smith. Durham have it back. Ward can't bring that under control. Do you wonder what impact it might have if Bristol City men were to become a men's Premier League club? They'll face Sheffield United in the playoff semi-finals. If they were to make that through, and you'd have to make Sheffield United big favourites given their recent Premier League history, then it would be Sunderland or Coventry in the final at Wembley. So Bristol City among those four, the only team that don't have a men's Premier League history. It has to be mentioned because it does have a bearing on the women's game. Durham, though, one of the very few teams proving it can be done life without the support of a men's Premier League club. London City Lionesses likewise, who are going for the title today in action against Birmingham, the only team that could deny them of it. What a final day. Effectively, a promotion playoff. Whoever wins goes up. The draw would be enough for London City Lionesses. These two clubs hoped they were going to be taking the battle to the final day too. It wasn't to be. But they've shown some of the quality already this afternoon that had them in that promotion battle for so long. Lovely move that led to Durham's opener from Heppel. And you saw a similarly flowing move a moment ago from Bristol City, which almost led to an equaliser, but Lexi Lloyd-Smith's shot was too close to Riley Foster. Foster with the ball here, out to Sarah Wilson. Briggs. Ward forces Briggs to go back to Wilson, and she has to go back to her goalkeeper. Not the most convincing clearance, and Powell almost took advantage, but it's bobbled up and away and out for a Durham throw. Heppel, the goal scorer. Attempts to switch to play. Was asking a lot of Briggs, but Briggs did well, and Briggs picks out Lambert, and can Lambert keep this in? She does, and pulls it back, and it's all over the bar from Claypole. Lovely flowing move once more though from Durham. Briggs and Lambert playing their parts again. Lambert hung it up, and in fact it went onto the roof of the net directly. It was far too high for Claypole to have any chance of getting there.
You got one off the back shoulder. Before and here. Hold if she goes. Hold if she goes quickly. Hold if she rolls in.
Bristol City have drawn their last two away games, both of them 1-1, away to Blackburn and Portsmouth, who we must say congratulations to Portsmouth too for pulling off a great escape. Commiserations to Sheffield United, relegated, but Portsmouth at one point, you would not have given them a hope of staying up. Took them so long to get points on the board, their first season in Tier 2 following their promotion. But they came into today not only above Sheffield United, whose relegation has been confirmed, but Blackburn too. So a creditable first season in Tier 2 for Portsmouth. Mina turns really well, and she claims a foul, and it was a foul, and it's been given by Abby Dearden, who's just having a word with Hannah Blake. In fact, it's Michaela Foster. Durham have won their last 4 home games in the Championship. 1-0 against Southampton at the end of January, 3-2 against Blackburn mid-February, 3-1 against Newcastle here in mid-March, and then 6-0 against Portsmouth at the end of March. Good home record. Long ball in towards Lloyd-Smith. Hacked away by Heppel. It's back with Syme, who lets it roll out of play. The last time Durham dropped points on their own pitch was the 2-1 home defeat to Charlton back on the 19th of January. Mustaki for the visitors. Lays it off short to Rogers. Lloyd-Smith can't bring it under control, and Lambert wins it back for Durham. Foster back to Wilson, who rolls it back to Riley Foster. Gets it away just in time. Mustaki wins it back. Heppel for Durham. Forced back by Morgan. Saliki out to Ella Powell, back with Saliki. Just over half an hour played. It's been a little bit more even over the last 10 minutes. Durham, though, now, of course, have a lead to protect after what was a blistering start from them. Really started on the front foot, took the game to their visitors, took the lead in the 11th minute through Heppel's 6th of the season. City have come back into the game since then, though. Not yet been able to force an equaliser. Morgan tries to lay it off to Rogers, but there's too much on the pass. And Durham win it back. Bennett back for Bristol. Struck. Former Denmark youth international Silly Struck, the Bristol City number 4. In the heart of defence. Mina. Lovely long ball down the left-hand side for Powell. Powell gets a low ball in, and it's going to come all the way through to Ward, and it's a really good save. And a block, in fact, between the Durham goalkeeper and defender. Ward's effort was thwarted. Closest Bristol City have come to an equaliser. Head injury. Referee Abby Dearden has to halt proceedings. She was alerted to that from the touchline. It was, in fact, Briggs who played a part in preventing that Ward shot from going in. Well, she's holding her right ankle, so hopefully not a head injury, but enough for her to require treatment. This was a move that led to it. Ella Powell. Lovely ball in. It went beyond side, fell to Ward, and it was Briggs who blocks it right in front of Foster. Really good defending by Briggs. Foster would have saved it, I'm sure, had Briggs not got there, but between the two of them, preventing a Bristol City equaliser. We can have a look at the goal that separates the teams. This was the moment where Amy Rogers felt she should have had a free kick. None given by Abby Dearden. It was crossweight with the tackle on Rogers, and she received Lambert's pass and put in a beautiful cross. Lambert couldn't capitalise, and then it went through Claypole to Heppel, who made no mistake. Fine finish from Beth Heppel. 6th championship goal of the season, 1-0 Durham. It's stayed that way ever since. For Bristol City, real frustration, because it was Crossweight who looked to me to have committed a foul on Amy Rogers. Got the player just before the ball, none given, and there she was a few seconds later at the other end. Crossweight to roll the ball across. Evaded 2 of her own players, but picked out Heppel, who gave Durham a deserved lead, it does have to be said, albeit Bristol City have really come back into the game since then, but at the time Durham were well on top.
Briggs, open your shoulders.
And Briggs is okay to continue, having received treatment for, we heard the shout of head injury from the touchline, but it looked, in fact, that she was caught rather painfully on the shin as she blocked that shot from Ward. Powell, the long throw for Durham. Lloyd Smith, lovely touch from Lloyd Smith. A little heavy with the pass though, and Syme couldn't bring it under control because of that. Ward gets the block in, and that's going to trundle behind for a Durham goal kick.
Ready to go.
Beautiful surroundings here at Maiden Castle.
Ready to go.
A unique ground in the Women's Championship. Quaint setting, but Durham do have big ambitions. Back in the middle of March, they announced they're going to be working with Durham Cricket Club on what they termed exciting proposals to create a women's sport performance centre, including what would be the UK's first new football stadium designed for female athletes and fans. That was Durham's announcement in the middle of March. Here's Ward, who came close to an equaliser just now. Ward tries to pull it back, and the whistle's gone against Bristol City. Of course, whether it would be the first stadium, I know Brighton too are looking into developing a new stadium for their women's team. But Durham with bold ambitions. They've been joined in the northeast, haven't they, by the Newcastle United revolution. Sunderland have long been northeast rivals up here for Durham, but Newcastle now a part of it too. Newcastle having missed out on a third consecutive promotion that they were going for this season, hoping to go all the way up to the WSL, not to be for them. And that means we can look forward to enticing northeast derbies again next season between Sunderland, Durham and Newcastle United. As mentioned, you can see how those other northeastern sides are getting on right now on the YouTube app multi-view option. Lloyd Smith. Oh, she did well to work her way between two Durham players and is knocked to the turf by Foster. He feels aggrieved, but it was surely a foul. Referee had no option. Really good work from Lloyd Smith. Crossweight with the header. Lovely header too, into the path for Claypole. Ella Wilson. Powell puts her under pressure and wins City a throw in. Taken short to Rogers. Mustaki. Ward's got some space down this left-hand flank. Still Mary Ward. Ward inside to Rogers, lays it off to Mustaki. Mustaki thought about whipping in the early cross, but is pushed back by Lambert and has to go all the way back to Struck. Mina. Oh, good tackle by Lambert. Oh, and what an effort. And oh, it's at one point I thought that was going to catch out Fran Bentley, but she was alert to it. And scarpered back to get there. But it was a bold and ambitious effort. I think it was Claypole who saw the keeper off her line. Pretty well executed too.
Up to the ball!
Struck with the clearance. Rogers, but there's a foul here and a free kick to Bristol City. Foster it is who's called up for that foul. Mustaki into the final 5 plus added time. Here's Ward for Bristol City, who's had their best chance, and it's a lovely cross in, and it almost dropped to Syme. Powell did really well, in fact, because she couldn't afford to put her foot wrong for fear of rolling it towards her own goal or back into the path of Syme. Durham get it away, but Bristol City have the opportunity to come again. Mina. Foster clears to Lambert. Lambert again for Durham. Rogers wins it back, but at the expense of a throw-in. 4.5 minutes plus added time. You wouldn't have thought there'd be much added time. A little stop for the injury to Briggs when she blocked that Mary Ward shot. Morgan tries to get there for Bristol City, but it's won back by Durham. Heppel is under real pressure from Mina, but managed to get it back to Foster. Good clearance by Foster to Crosswaite, but Mustaki did well to give her no time or space and wins the throw-in for the visitors. And she will take it. Chloe Mustaki has to go back to Struck. And she wasn't able to hold on to it, and Durham had the chance to build it. Lovely ball through from Crosswaite, or just a little bit too much on it. Gave her a little bit too much credit. It was perfect in the way that it was put through that space, but it just was sent through with a little bit much weight on it. It'll be now a Durham throw. Wilson. Lovely ball from Wilson, the Durham captain. Heppel now. Wilson again, who's moved into an advanced position, and Bristol City could take advantage of that now. Not been able to do so. Good defending from Durham. Held their shape. Ward's got a lot of space now. Crosswaite scampering to get back. Still Mary Ward. Ward along the edge of the area. Syme with a lovely layoff almost into the path of Mina. Lloyd Smith rolls it back to Mustaki. Mustaki high hanging cross towards the far post. Almost comes all the way through, and it's well saved by Foster. Good build-up play from the visitors. Lovely ball in from Mustaki. And in the end, it was well held by the Durham keeper. Less than 2 minutes now, plus added time at the end of this first half. Bristol City have grown into the game. Powell it was with the header that was saved just seconds ago. That probably City's second best chance of the game after the Ward shot that was blocked. Ward to Lloyd Smith. Ward's probably been City's best player of the half. Lloyd Smith with a shot. Ambitious, but she's got the talent to pull that off. Didn't execute it properly on this occasion. But she saw the opportunity was on. Just couldn't get the bend on the ball to bring it back in towards that top corner. Oh, Ward jumped with Mina. Well, I thought for a moment they might have struck heads, but luckily they did not. But Lambert's through here. Oh, and Lambert tried to take it beyond Bentley. You have to give Bentley credit, in fact. She took a gamble, charged out of her area and did enough to force Lambert wide. Cross swung in, and Bentley's there again, and she quickly distributes the ball to Ward. Ward comes inside of Lambert and lays it off to Syme. Syme plays a 1-2 with Mina. Into 2 minutes of added time. Wilson to Briggs. Briggs with the flick to Crossweight, who was caught in the back by Mustaki. Free kick to Durham.
Chloe, Murray, talk! Talk!
Briggs thumps the free kick forward, headed on by Lambert. Heppel wins the second ball. Lambert picks it up, finds Blake. Blake back to Lambert. Here comes Lambert charging through. Has she won her side a late corner? She has. 30 seconds to play at the end of this first half. Durham with a chance to put clear daylight between themselves and their visitors. Bristol City went 1-0 up at about this time in the reverse fixture, en route to a 5-0 win that day back in mid-December. Can Durham strike on the stroke of half-time for a 2-0 lead? Heppel, the goal scorer, with the corner. The wind on that far side is making it rather difficult.
Mickey, slide in the gap. In front of Pink.
In it comes from Heppel, and the half-time whistle. No, in fact, the referee saw a foul in there. Thought she was blowing up for half-time. Seen one famous incident of that, didn't we? Back in a World Cup many, many moons ago. If you're as old as me, the goal being disallowed as a corner came in, the whistle going basically in the very last seconds. Usually doesn't happen these days. Teams are usually given the chance to see out the last attacking move. There's no rule about that, but it often happens, and half-time whistle does go, and Durham lead. Mary Ward's shot blocked by Lauren Briggs just in front of the goal line. Ella Powell with a header too, well saved by Foster. Those the closest chances that Bristol City had to an equaliser. Powell on the ball here, and Ella Powell clatters away the ball, and in the process of doing so caught Powell and gave away the free kick. No changes at the break. Reminder of the teams. Riley Foster in goal for Durham. Oh, here is Claypole with the ball through to Lambert. Foster in goal. A back four of Ella Wilson, Sarah Wilson, Becky Saliki and Lauren Briggs. Michaela Foster and her New Zealand compatriot Hannah Blake, the holding midfielders. Crossweight, Heppel and Lambert, the three in support of Amy Claypole, who's been on loan from Chelsea since January. Bristol City on the attack here, flicks through and comes back to Lloyd Smith. Foster gets there for Durham. The City team, Fran Bentley in goal. Back three are Harley Bennett, City Struck and Chloe Mustaki. Ella Powell, Amy Rogers, Malika Mina and Mary Ward. The middle four, and Emily Syme, the captain, in the hole behind Fionn Morgan and Lexi Lloyd-Smith. Just a reminder, you can watch all four of the 2 o'clock kickoffs at the same time in the YouTube app multi-view option. Blackburn against Newcastle, Southampton, Charlton. And here's a chance for Lloyd-Smith, almost, for good goalkeeping by Foster. The other games that kicked off at 2, as I was saying, Blackburn, Newcastle, Southampton, Charlton and Sunderland, Sheffield United. You can also see separately from the multi-view option, Birmingham against London City Lionesses. That kicks off a quarter of an hour after this one. 0-0 at the break. Whoever wins goes up to the WSL. A draw would be enough for London City Lionesses too. Bentley with the clearance. But Durham looking to win it straight back. Lambert attempted to get the foot in, but the foul is given away. Bristol City free kick. Reminder too that next season you'll be able to watch every single Barclays Women's Championship game live on YouTube, on the official YouTube channel. Been delighted to have your company this season. Do join us again when it all kicks off on September the 6th, 125 days from now. Durham and Bristol City will be among the championship teams once more. They both did their best. They both were in the promotion battle for quite some time. We saw their challenge fade in recent weeks. In the end, it came down to the final day with just 2 teams going for that one spot up to the WSL. London City Lionesses and Birmingham. Struck. Finds Ward. Ward was really lively in the first half down that left-hand channel. Rogers is pushed over by Lambert and it'll be a free kick to Bristol City. Attacking options on the bench for Bristol City as they try to chase down this lead. The 19-year-old Irish player Leah O'Leary, Emily Testrup, the more experienced Dane, who's played in the WSL with Liverpool and Bristol City. Jessie Woolley and Tiana Tazar too. Syme short to Mustaki, who crashes one against the bar, comes back to Lloyd Smith. Oh, Durham did so well to get bodies back. Deflects off of Rogers, who couldn't bring it under control. It was hit straight at her, to be fair. Well, that's the closest now that Bristol City have come to an equaliser. Mustaki against the bar right at the start of this second half. Claypole. Lambert now. Bristol City just the 6 substitutes this afternoon. They don't have a substitute goalkeeper were the worst to happen, and fingers crossed it doesn't. Durham do have a full complement of 9 on the bench. Carly Johns, signed last summer from Watford, among them. 3 goals this season for her. Wilson gets there for Durham. But this is a good start to the second half from Bristol City. Alice Griffiths, who signed on loan from Southampton. Durham goal kick. Claypole lays it off. Back in the direction of Foster, but it's won back really well by Ward. Here's Powell. Charges through the middle, tries to pick out Lloyd Smith, couldn't do so. Oh, Durham have the opportunity to get numbers forward here. Lambert will get on the end of it. Lovely sweeping finish by Molly Lambert. And Durham lead 2-0. 7th goal of the campaign for the former Sunderland player, Molly Lambert. Bristol City have started this second half so well, but Durham with their first effort of the half double their lead. It was a lovely flowing move. And a beautiful sweeping finish from Lambert. A player of her expertise was never going to miss from there. Durham now have clear daylight between themselves and their visitors. Well, they have had, as I was saying, a really strong record at home. Durham, not lost here since mid-January. And it's a long way back now for Bristol City. They've only won one of their last 7, home or away, in the Championship. If they're going to end the season on a high. What an afternoon too for Lily Crosswaite, with the crosses for both goals this afternoon. Always a dangerous presence down that right-hand side. Picked out Lambert really well.
Stand still, Mickey! Step in, step in, step in. Yes, Ella, staying high off the
No play ball, no play ball. Body shape, body shape. Briggs his shoulders over.
Step forward. Go on, go on, go on.
Oh, and Lambert's through again here. The flag's gone up. Could not have been far offside there. Very close. If Bristol City aren't careful, this game's going to completely run away from them. They've got an opportunity here, though, to claw themselves right back into it. They've got bodies forward. But the ball in isn't good enough. Throw in for Durham.
On the inside, Hannah!
Bennett. Lovely layoff from Mina to Lloyd Smith.
Stay here, Mickey, stay closer! Stay back this way, come back this way, come back this way! Come back this way!
Keep your shoulders open.
Shut the gap! Shut the gap! Shut the gap!
Ball through from Mustaki. And this is an opportunity for Bristol City. It's gone behind, in fact, for a goal kick. Healthy crowd here at Maiden Castle this afternoon. The home side's certainly enjoying what they've seen so far. Riley Foster with the goal kick. One ball forward. Struck gets there, and it's going to be a yellow card for Harley Bennett. Booked for the foul there, and a free kick for Durham. chance for Heppel again to try and test goalkeeper Fran Bentley, who does indeed have support from the bench. My oversight earlier at the young goalkeeper Ella Stowell rather, on the bench this afternoon for Bristol City. Here is, in fact, it's going to be, oh, it's not far away from Foster. Heppel went to take it, so often takes the set pieces. That little dummy, well, it fooled me, it nearly fooled Fran Bentley, but it was a really well taken free kick from Michaela Foster that was not far away. Here's Lloyd Smith for Bristol City with a delightful ball in, oh! And that was the best chance of the afternoon for Bristol City. Would have made the closing stages here really interesting. But Morgan could not convert. Lovely ball in. Wide of the target. And Bentley does need treatment, or I mean, we are used to seeing tactical substitutions at around this time. We can never be sure, of course, whether it's treatment a goalkeeper needs or whether it's what we have seen frequently creeping into the game at all levels, men's and women's football, almost unofficial timeouts. And look back at the goal which saw Durham double their lead early in this second half. Surging run down the right-hand flank from Lily Crosswaite, who set up the first goal and then laid this second goal on the plate for Molly Lambert. Just rush home her 7th championship goal of the season. 3 assists too from her throughout the campaign, Molly Lambert. Another productive season in front of goal. And Bristol City so close to making it 1-1 before that, when Mustaki dinked it over the top. Really well taken shot. She knew that was the best way to try and beat Riley Foster from there, and was not far away from lofting it over the former Everton goalkeeper. And as we get set to resume, the clock is about to tick over into the final half hour of the game. Lambert's got Blake in the middle, picks out Claypole. Claypole's shot is blocked, it drops back to Mina. Wilson's there with the clearance. Throw into Bristol City. Taken quickly. Blake did well to hold on to the ball under pressure from her opposite number 10, Lloyd Smith. Mina lays it off to Powell. Struck across to Mustaki. Ward takes it beyond Briggs. Ward gets the cross in. drops to Mina. Mina's short to Powell. Powell just manages to pull it back. It'll be a goal kick. So she didn't quite manage to claw it back before the ball crossed the line. First change of the afternoon. Leah O'Leary replaces Ella Powell. Leah O'Leary, the 19-year-old Republic of Ireland player who joined from Shamrock Rovers back in the summer. This is her 6th appearance from the bench. Hasn't started a game yet in the championship. Ward. Ward does well to pull it back, but Durham had got the necessary bodies back.
Watch the quick, watch the short. Make sure you match up. Concentrate, come on. Play ball off one if you need. Two in the back. Play ball, detach edge if you need. Detach edge if you need.
In comes the corner towards the far post.
Well done.
Bristol City unable to make anything from that. Mina given away to Blake. Back to Wilson. Wilson rolls it back to her goalkeeper Foster. His clearance did well to find Claypole, but Claypole couldn't keep it in. Bennett takes the free kick for Bristol City. Syme flicks it beyond Briggs. O'Leary.
Come on.
Low ball in, but it goes all the way through to Foster.
Come.
Good decision, still in.
Kept in by Lambert. In fact, it had gone out of play. City throw. Foster did well to pick out Lambert. Now it's with Blake. Heppel. Foster's knocked over, and it will be a free kick to Durham. In it comes. It's gone all the way through. Saliki unable to pick out her teammates. Wilson knocks it out of play.
Blakey, outside you, Blakey.
Bennett. Time just beginning to be against Bristol City now, as we head into the almost the final quarter of the game. Claypole to Lambert, who'd stayed on side. Back to Blake. Wilson. Blake has it again. Wilson once more. Saliki. Morgan tries to get away from Saliki and she's pulled, and it'll be a yellow card to Becky Saliki, the Durham number 14. Free kick to Bristol City. Ella Powell to take this free kick. Mustaki rather. Mustaki with the ball short. Back to Mustaki, who hit the crossbar earlier. Ella Powell, of course, departed a short while ago for Leah O'Leary. Substitution first and only so far of the game. Claypole for Durham. Back with Bentley. Ward with the throw in for Bristol City. Bennett. Rogers. Back to Struck. Mustaki. City patient in the build-up here. Oh, it's given away by Mina. Just as it looked like they were beginning to build something. Durham happy for Bristol City to have the ball now. They've got this 2-0 lead to defend. Bennett lays it off to Ward. In it comes from Ward, but it's too close to the keeper. His handling was good. Riley Foster, and distribution good too to find Lambert. Lambert with the shots, it's over the bar. But she can do better from there. Frequently does. Didn't keep it down on this occasion. Crossweight again with one of those runs down the right-hand flank, and so often picks out the right ball, does Lily Crossweight. But Lambert wasteful with the chance. And this time it's Foster down. 20 minutes to play plus added time. Probably be a bit more than the 2 minutes we saw in the first half, given this is the second stoppage, goalkeeping stoppage. Great to see Riley Foster back in regular action. Such a difficult time she had a few years back after that serious car accident which left her in a neck brace. Left her fearing she might never play again, Riley Foster. Has been in Canada senior squads as the 26-year-old. Still uncapped though at senior level. October 2021 it was when she was involved in that serious car accident. But she's fought her way back and now playing regularly for Durham, having joined from Everton in January. Former Liverpool goalkeeper too. Double change for City. Amelie Testrup and Tiana Taser, both attacking players, are coming on. Lexi Lloyd-Smith departs, as does Malika Mina. So Lexi Lloyd-Smith is not going to be adding to her 10 championship goals. What a fine season Lexi Lloyd-Smith has had, but she departs. Tiana Taser on, as is Amelie Testrup, and off go Lloyd-Smith and Malika Mina. O'Leary with the ball forward. Amelie Testrup, formerly in the WSL with Bristol City, formerly a Liverpool player too. The 30-year-old Dane who's just come on for Lexi Lloyd-Smith. This her 20th appearance of the championship season, so she's featured in every game, started 7 of them. This is her 13th from the bench, has scored 3 goals. Ward does really well to keep this in and wins Bristol City a corner. Tiana Taser, who's also just been introduced, has scored a couple of goals this season in the championship too. So Bristol City making attacking changes really. Mina, one of those to depart, more of a midfielder. Oh, there's a header in, and Durham do really well to scramble it clear. With Stacky with the cross in. O'Leary picks it up. Touch was heavy though, allows Crossweight to get there, but O'Leary wins it back, does really well to win it back. Long looping ball in, touched out the air once more by Foster, whose handling's been really good this afternoon. Well, the City goal would really change the dynamics of this game going into the final quarter of an hour. Durham comfortable right now. The nerves might just start to fray. Playing for pride, these two on the final day. Playing for the highest possible position too, though. Durham kicked off knowing that finishing in the top 3 was a possibility. Bristol City aiming for finishing as high as 4th. Often, of course, it will be depending on what's happening elsewhere in the division. And you can follow all 4 of the 2 o'clock kickoffs on the YouTube app with the multi-screen option at the same time, or watch them individually. You can also separately watch the top of the table showdown, who's going up to the WSL, Birmingham or London City Lionesses. You can watch that as a standalone game. At the moment, Durham getting a modicum of revenge for the 5-0 defeat they suffered at Bristol in mid-December. In that game, Bristol City were 3-0 up at this stage. 2 of their goals came in the final 7 minutes plus added time. There was a lot of added time that day. Taser scored in the 83rd minute. Amelie Testrup in the 8th minute of added time. Those 2 players have just come on for Bristol City. And if they were both to be on target again in those respective minutes, this game would finish 2-2. So there is certainly still hope for Bristol City, assuming, of course, there was no reply from Durham. But at the moment, Durham still retain this comfortable lead. Briggs just ushers it out of play for the Durham throw. The in-play stats show Durham with 6 shots to Bristol City's 4 so far this afternoon. 2 apiece on targets. Durham having scored with both of theirs. 45% possession for Durham, 55% to Bristol City. So an even game in many respects, but Durham the more clinical. Wilson knocks it out of play so that teammate can receive a bit of treatment for cramp. I think it's Briggs who's down. The Durham coaching staff appear to be in conversation with a couple of players coming off the bench as Durham prepare to make their first change or changes approaching the final 10 minutes. Alice Griffiths, who joined on loan from Southampton back in January, the number 18, about to come on, and Kyla Novak too, the 23-year-old Canadian forward. Alice Griffiths, midfield player, 24-year-old Welsh woman. And Kyla Novak joined last summer from University of California. So Alice Griffiths is on for Ella Wilson. Kyla Novak comes on for Hannah Blake. Kyla Novak with 1 goal to her name in the championship so far this season and a couple of assists. Bennett takes the throw, sends it back to Durham, who, because they had a player down for treatment. Syme knocks it back to her goalkeeper Bentley. So with 3 stoppages now, both of the goalkeepers and also Briggs, you imagine there's going to be at least 5 minutes of added time. Likely to be at least a quarter of an hour to play here for Bristol City to salvage something on the final day.
Shoulders open, Mickey. Yeah. Big 2. Kai, just look. Kai, roll in.
Wilson. Too much on it for Heppel. Ward. Ward wins the corner. Novak did well to get the block in. Ward dinks it in. Foster got 1 hand on it, just enough. And Lambert completes the clearance. Bristol City putting Durham under a lot of pressure here as they seek the goal to bring them right back into this game. Wilson does well to cut out the low ball with Durham captain. Claypole couldn't hold on to it. Lambert gets a little bit of distance on the clearance, but it's straight back to a Bristol City shirt.
Under the ball,
yeah, 3 in.
Keep it there, no foul.
Taser, but Wilson gets the better of her and wins it back for Durham. It's given straight away though. Lambert with the header. Claypole was in and Simon's called up for a high foot, but in fact Claypole was ducking down. But you don't get much margin for that in the modern game, so perhaps you'd imagine most referees would have given the same there as Abby did. And we're going to see another change for Bristol City. Jess Simpson on loan from Manchester United comes onto the field of play. City struck departs. Jess Simpson was in the starting lineup last week. Missed out as Harley Bennett returned from suspension, but gets on for the final 8 minutes plus added time. Jess Simpson was, of course, on loan from Manchester United at the start of last season. Injury saw her recalled. She had been due to spend the entire campaign with Bristol City, and then this year she returned to the club for this second half of the season. Was in the squad a couple of times for Manchester United before Christmas. Still only 20 is Jess Simpson. And Molly Lambert goes into the book late on here, joining Becky Saliki, who was booked earlier for Durham. Harley Bennett, the only Bristol City player in the book.
Come here, come here. Right, no, stay there.
Bennett. Bennett takes the throw in. Can Bristol City get one back and make the closing stages here really interesting? Ward with the low ball in. It's a decent effort from Syme. Hooked in the low volley. But again, didn't unduly trouble Foster. Most of what's been hit Foster's way has been too close to the goalkeeper.
Hey, come on, well done.
He's looked comfortable throughout, really.
Yes, Alice, well done.
Yes,
Rogers with the layoff to Simpson, who's scampering down the far side, and it's gone out of play for a Durham throw. Into the final 5 minutes plus added time of the 2024-2025 season. The season that's offered moments of promise for both these clubs. Ultimately, in the end, promotion was a step too far, but they featured in the race for a long time. I think respective managers Adam Furness of Durham and Stephen Kirby of Bristol City take heart from progress witnessed this season. Durham made it to the quarter-finals of the Subway League Cup, where they were beaten by the eventual winners Chelsea 4-0 away from home on the night. Got themselves the chance to test themselves against the very best again, as they have done in recent seasons in the cup competitions. Bristol City also had that round 4 FA Cup game with Arsenal away from home under the lights, in a game that was originally frozen off. Went down 5-0 in that game, but they showed a lot of quality in the second half. They were 4-0 down after 25 minutes in that game, and there was real fear it was going to be an absolute avalanche cricket scoreline, but they found the character, they dug deep, and they really dug in for damage limitation that night, and in the end came away with a respectable 5-0 defeat to the record 14-time FA Cup winners. Here is a chance, though. The flag is up against Testrup. Of course, the FA Cup final will be contested by Chelsea and Manchester United on Sunday, the 18th of May. Saliki's got cramp here. Heppel tries to help out. Chelsea and Manchester United meeting for the second time in 3 seasons in the Women's FA Cup final. Man United there, the holders for the 3rd year in a row. They lost 1-0 to Chelsea in 2023. Handsomely beat Tottenham 4-0 at Wembley last May to win their first major trophy, and they'll be looking to retain it when they take on Chelsea. Chelsea newly crowned as Women's Super League winners in midweek, of course. Arsenal's surprise 5-2 defeat at Villa gave them the chance to win the title on the night, and Chelsea 1-0 winners against Manchester United, claiming that 6th, record-extending 6th WSL title in a row. Beat Manchester City in the League Cup final. They're on for a domestic treble at Chelsea. Obviously the heartbreak of missing out in the Champions League, going down to Barcelona in the semi-finals. But a domestic treble in Sonia Bonpastor's first season would be quite something. Manchester United, though, will have something to say about that. Novak wins the header for Durham. Simpson. Decent ball by Jess Simpson down the left-hand flank. Is there going to be at least the last goal of the season for Bristol City? They've won a free kick. Taser doing really well with that surge, and there's a yellow card showing to, I believe, Briggs.
That's fine, Salute.
Bristol City free kick, real dangerous territory, and has come to nothing. Disappointing delivery. But it seems like, in fact, that late yellow card was shown to Becky Saliki. Well, no, it must have been Lauren Briggs, because Saliki was booked earlier. So I think Lauren Briggs in the book there for that late challenge. And we're going to see 4 additional minutes at Maiden Castle. 4 minutes of the season to run. It looks like the points are in the bag for Durham. There would still be time. Here's Syme. Syme with a shot. Oh, not far away. Really good late run from the Bristol City captain. And she took the shot on and just pulled it a yard wide of the far post. With a decent effort through a crowded penalty area. Just confirming that yellow card for Lauren Briggs. Joins her teammates Becky Saliki and Molly Lambert in the book. Showing yellow cards earlier. And Harley Bennett of Bristol City also booked. There's going to be a late change. Triple substitution. Abby Grant coming on. Also Lily Coulson and Dee Bradley. So Lily Coulson replaces Briggs, Lauren Briggs. Dee Bradley, the American, on for Molly Lambert, who got Durham's second goal of the afternoon. Scotland's Abby Grant, signed last summer from Panathinaikos. in an injury-hit season, making just her second substitution appearance of the season. She comes on for Lily Crosswaite, who's had a magnificent afternoon, setting up both of Durham's goals. So Lily Colson for Lauren Briggs, Dee Bradley for Molly Lambert, and Abby Grant for Lily Crosswaite, just for the final 2 minutes of the season. Lily Colson, it's a debut for the 17-year-old Irish woman. Nominally a defender is Lily Colson. Well done to her, getting her first minutes as a senior player for Durham. Dee Bradley making her 5th appearance from the bench in the championship this season, also started 1 game. And Abby Grant just a 2nd appearance, both from the bench. But they've all played their part. Tight-knit squad, tight-knit group at Durham. Many of the players here for many, many seasons. And it's been another fine season for them. Bristol City too has been up and down rather in their first season since being relegated from the WSL. But there's plenty to build on. Assuming there's no other changes to scorelines elsewhere, both teams are going to finish where they kicked off. Durham in 4th place, Bristol City in 6th place in the table. Late free kick for Bristol City. Taser is bundled over. Can they end their season on a high point? Consolation goal up in the northeast. Mustaki to take, she hit the bar earlier. It's headed down into the danger zone. Morgan took the shot on. Durham scramble it clear. Claypole looks to get on the end of it. Into added time at the end of added time. Claypole with the layoff to Grant. Just seconds remaining. Can Durham get a late third? Oh, it's a fine hit from Claypole. Not far wide. That really would have been some way to finish the season. Fran Bentley was flying herself, flinging herself across the goal mouth. She was not convinced that was going wide. Bennett back to Bentley. And Abby Dearden does bring, for these two, the 2024-2025 Barclays Women's Championship season to a close. Durham 2-0 winners. Two teams who played their part in a thrilling promotion battle for most of the season, faded in the final weeks, playing for pride this afternoon. Durham avenged the 5-0 defeat they suffered to Bristol City just before Christmas. Worthy winners on the day. Bristol City, though, certainly gave a good account of themselves, came close, would have hoped that perhaps Ella Powell with her header at the end of the first half and Mary Ward with a shot from around 10 yards out just before that could have done better with those chances. Pretty even in terms of possession and chances created, shots on goal. But Durham the more clinical. They end the season on a high. They look set to end the season in the top 4, depending on results in the final stages elsewhere, for the 6th year in the 12 seasons of the championship. Huge credit to a club, an independent club, not backed by a men's professional side. Bristol City will have to go again in the championship as they look to get back from where they came down from last year from the WSL. I'm sure they'll make it back there one day. Who knows? Perhaps Durham too. They've kept us entertained this afternoon. Let's look back at the best moments from a free-flowing game which zips on by. Early free kick from Heppel. Bristol City's wall did its job, jumping in unison. Crosswaite No foul given as Rogers went to turf. Blake found Lambert, found Crossway, whose cross went back under the feet of Lambert. Evaded Claypole, and Beth Heppel smashed in her 6th championship goal of the season in the 11th minute. Powell did well to keep this in. Picks out Lloyd Smith. His volley was straight at Foster. Bentley rather got away with one here as Heppel almost sneaked in a second. Wide of the post, won a corner from it. Powell went under the feet of Simon. This was Ward, who really, with hindsight, should have done better. Briggs blocks it in front of her goalkeeper, Foster, who would have got there had the defender not got the first touch. Claypole with an ambitious shot from effort. Ambitious effort from distance, rather. Lloyd Smith to Mustaki, who picked out Powell. Lovely ball in from Mustaki. Powell probably should have done better with that header right at the end of the first half. Lloyd Smith curled one wide. She finishes the season on 10 goals. Really good return, 3rd highest scorer in the division. Mustaki off the bar. Clever effort from Chloe Mustaki. And Lloyd Smith couldn't gobble up the rebound. Lovely free-flowing move from Durham. 7 minutes into the second half. Crossway again with the assist. Lambert tidily tucking home her 7th championship goal of the campaign. Heppel went to take it. It was a dummy, and Foster almost pulls out Bentley. Decent effort from the New Zealander. Lloyd Smith on the run, picking out Morgan. And a player of her quality would have hoped to have hit the target with that one. Crossway again late on. Pulled it back to Lambert, who should have kept this down. And Mary Ward, who had a really promising afternoon, picking out Syme, whose volley was comfortably saved by Foster. Syme surging run forward and just shanked the shot a little wide. And late on, Claypole, really ambitious effort. What a way that would have been to cap off the season. Entertaining game, flew by. Durham came out on top. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. You can, elsewhere on YouTube, join the closing stages of the top of the table showdown between London City Lionesses and Birmingham City. It's been a great season. It's been wonderful to have your company. Of course, there's more WSL action to come next weekend. And join us back in September when every single Barclays Women's Championship match will be available on the official YouTube channel. Have a great summer. It's finished here at Maiden Castle. Durham 2, Bristol City 0.